How's it going, everybody? And welcome back to another episode of the Gift of the Jab. This is episode 4. Just going to do a little run through the PFL Europe card to start off the podcast today. This is my second time attempting this recording, as I had the microphone set up but not turned on. So here I am sipping me iced Americano like a little pussy. Drinking me coffee cold. Um, so yeah, let's kick into it. First fight, my teammate in the home against Cardi McLaughlin. Um, this was a nice back and forth fight. I was gutted for the home. He has a good presence online, and he has kind of a good stage kind of presence, and he has good personality and character. Um, but on the night he just didn't get the win, unfortunately. Naham's a very good striker, and he was looking to counter for most of the fight, and unfortunately he just wasn't pulling the trigger when the opportunities arose to counter. And when you're a counter puncher, if that's the kind of game plan or that's what you're setting up, unless you're answering back, it's not going to go your way, because the forward and aggressive fighter is obviously going to be scoring on control and damage, even if it's only one or two shots here and there, one or two kicks here and there, unless the counter puncher's answering back with multiples of punches. It's probably not going to go your way. He left it to the last minute in the last round. Well, not the last minute. He left it till the last round to start putting the pressure on Cardi, and he did some damage in the last round, opening up with a few elbows, but it was unfortunately too little, too late for Nahom. But he'll be back definitely. He has good character, good spirit, and he's good talent. So, and also he had a very, very bad staph infection going into that fight, so it was a big part to play in his preparation and stuff like that. So unfortunately, they're the risks you take going in, when you're not 100%. But look, all that matters is on the night, can you get the result? He didn't, unfortunately. But good for you in the home, but he'll be back. Another little sip of this. Gemma All versus Sammy Joe Luxton. So Sammy Joe looked great in the first round, pinged her around for the whole round. But this is MMA. She went in with a heavy kind of like striking game plan, and you know Gemma was looking to get that takedown, looking to get the control, and looking to set up traps to get the submission, and she did. So look, I've no doubt Sammy Joe has good potential in the sport, but she needs to develop her whole mixed martial arts game as a whole, and not just rely on good striking. Her striking was really good. She was very accurate. She had high output, and she was doing some damage, as Gemma All's face was bust up after. But Gemma knew if she just took her down, got the submission, she'd get the win. She did. That's all that matters. Um, Shero, the White Lion, against Maliki Edwards. So Shero's another teammate of mine. Very, very impressive win. Probably the two tallest welterweights you'll see fighting each other in history. Shero's going to be a problem for everyone in that division. He's so tall. He's like 6'4". 80 odd inch reach for welterweight is just mental. He has serious power, serious striking. He can grapple when he needs to. And the best thing going for Shero, he has a great personality. So I'd love to see him do well. He has all the potential there, and he just needs to go and capitalize on yeah. So capitalize on future opportunities. He knew this fight was going to be a tough fight, and he made it look easy. So if you're doing that, you're putting away these prospects and making it look easy, you're definitely going to get the respect you deserve. Next we have Claudio. So Claudio fought Gavin Hughes and won by decision. Claudio is another teammate of mine. Easily one of the hardest workers in the gym. Easily one of the most dedicated grafters that you'll come across. 24 years old or 25. I'm absolutely chuffed for him. He balances a full-time job. He works. He's proper hard working, and he has a perfect attitude. He was fucking shredded going into this fight. And Gavin Hughes was a tough cookie. Like, Gavin Hughes did not let up. He really, really, he had some big shots off Claudio, and he was answering back. And look, only for Claudio's output and sheer will to win, he won that fight. Because Gavin Hughes would have kept going until the death of it. He has one of them fucking. He's like a head like a log of timber. He's a fucking wall head. But I was very impressed with Gavin as well, his toughness, his ability to get back into it. But yeah, just didn't get there on the night, and Claudio moves on to the next round of the tournament. So well done, Claudio, and I'm absolutely chuffed for you, man. You really do deserve it. Next we have Chisov versus Ewan. Another first round TKO. Lovely kind of check, loop and left hook by Chisov, and just kind of one of them ones that didn't look like anything was in it, and yeah, got dropped Mark Ewan and finished by TKO then. Very impressive. Chisov is no slouch, and him and Claudio is going to be a very, very interesting and exciting matchup. I think Claudio will edge it out, but he needs to be cautious of obviously Chisov's good hands and range management. Next we had Hoida Khan versus Sean McCormack. So bit of controversy around this one. Hoida Khan missed weight. I think they were meant to fight at 185. Hoida Khan, I think Sean ended up weighing in at like 188, and then Hoida was like fucking, I don't know, 195, something mental. Which obviously is gonna have a part to play in weight in the cage on the night. Sean accepted the fight, 20% of his purse, but he took the risk of fighting the bigger man who missed weight by like fucking nearly, I don't know what, like 4 kilos, maybe more. I can't remember the exact weight. But it would have been nearly 5 kilos over the actual weight, the weight they were meant to fight at. So let me fix this. Yeah, so unfortunately, Sean did some good work chopping away at the calf kick and was in and out boxing and blasting low. But Hyder did a good job of answering back when he needed to, and more importantly, when the time was right, he took him to the ground. And yeah, Sean was just stuck there. Unfortunately, it happens. I say the weight difference had a big advantage on it, but Hyder just looked a bit more technically sound on the round. I think Sean is actually the image of he's like a better looking Fran from Love Hate, with the long hair and stuff like that. He just reminds me of Fran from Love Hate. But yeah, I have no doubt Sean will be back. He took an opportunity, took a risk. Fair play to him, and yeah, he'll be back definitely. Then we had Gio Van Steenis versus Decky McAleenan. Yeah, I was gutted for Decky. I was happy to see him in there making his PFL debut. Gio just did really well of controlling the fight, took him down, controlled him on the ground. Decky wobbled him in the second round, I think it was. Um, and yeah, just couldn't get him out of there, unfortunately. He did a good job of recovering and using his long legs and not letting Decky kind of get into him. And then when the time came to Decky to get on top, he ended up getting reversed, unfortunately. But look, Decky will be back. He said he's going to move down to featherweight for his next fight. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. If he's fighting with the PFL, I think they'll be happy to have him back. Maybe jumping into my weight division could maybe potentially fight me someday. Who knows if they do a nice regional show? Who knows? Then we had Connor Hughes against Sebastian DeFranco. Yeah, Connor, unbelievable knockout. Highlight reel stuff. One shot. And put his lights out. Up until then, he was butchering the inside of the leg with the low calf kicks, inside calf kicks, and the hematoma on Sebastian's leg. I don't even know how he made it out in the second round and was able to walk. He was still stalking him and hunting him down. I don't know how he was even able to do it. So that was really impressive in itself. Yeah, but unfortunately, when the time came, I think all that damage to the leg, and a little bit of distance management went wrong, and he stepped in, and Connor just fired that kind of short inside hook onto the chin and laid him out stiff. Got the £5,000 bonus and fully deserved it. Then we have Lewis McGrillen against Alan Philpa. Alan's an OG of the Irish and Northern Irish mixed martial arts scene. He's been on Bama. He's been recently in Australia doing a stint over there. Um, had a big ass coming in to fight McGrillen with his momentum, with his power, and just his gameness. I absolutely no disrespect to Alan, but I absolutely love Lewis McGrillen. He's one of my favourite fighters. He's so exciting. He's just a mad cunt. He just doesn't give a bollocks. He just gets in. He's very twitchy. He's always wanting to get the finish, and that's an exciting fighter. But yeah, Lewis Allen did really really well up until it didn't up until the fight ended. Did a really good job of catching Lewis on the way in. Was using high kicks to keep him at bay. Um, Lewis took us back. He escaped. But then unfortunately, the position that actually led him to get finished. I feel like he kind of gave Lewis the back and he kind of let him have it. And then Lewis was not letting him get out of it that time. But yeah, Lewis showing he can grapple as well as strike, and got a lovely win there. And supposedly now him against Caelan Loughran for the next fight. That was something everyone been calling for. That was what was meant to happen after the fight. Didn't happen. But Lewis McGrillen versus Caelan Loughran, that'd be a banger of a fight. I think everyone wants to see that, including me. Um, Next we had Paul Hughes versus Bruno Miranda. Not much else needs to be said about this fight. Paul stole the show again. His walkout to his performance to his call out after. He's really, really outdid himself with this one. Yeah, it's very similar knockout to that. Cedric Doumbé knockout, caught the kick, banged the left hook, dropped him, finished him on the mat. But very, very impressive 42-second KO. And more importantly, got on the mic, called out Usman because he knows that Usman is going to be next on his list. Whenever that happens, I'd love to see it happen before the end of the year, and I think everyone would like to see that happen in Belfast, but I don't think that will be happening in Belfast if Usman has any say in it. But yeah, Paul Hughes also got a bonus and donated it all to a mental health charity. So fair play to Paul for that. Nice bit of generosity there. But yeah, that was more or less the whole card sorted out. I I have some news myself. I got offered a fight in Atlantic City, 1st of August, which is the PFL's finals for my weight division. I won't say the name. I won't release any details yet because it hasn't really been confirmed. But I've never not been given an opponent and it not happened. Bar shows being cancelled, are not going ahead. So I was looking like 1st of August. I'm back in there to right some wrongs. Um, a lot of soul searching for my last two. A lot of inner reflection, and making peace with loss, making peace with the situation I'm in. But one thing that it has done for me is lit a fire in my belly. Really, really has. I didn't think I was going to be fighting for the rest of the year. So I was sitting around wondering, oh, like, am I going to be just left on the shelf for the rest of the year, or is it going to work? I was I kind of had a half idea in my head. If they do put me on the card, I hope they put me on the finals, and that'll be me time. And I was kind of mentally preparing myself for that. And then I got the message off John to give me the date and the opponent. I said yeah instantly because I didn't think I was going to fight for the rest of the year. So I'm really, really happy now that that's going ahead, and I have something to work towards now, something to make me focus. And I'm going to be tapping into a different side of my mental game now for this one. I just feel, surprisingly enough, after two losses, you might feel like your confidence is diminishing, or you might feel less mentally strong. But for this one, because of how well I handled the losses, I feel like I'm so mentally strong coming into this. I honestly feel bulletproof. Honestly, because I know I've handled two of my biggest losses of my career, two finishes back to back. You know, um, I know that I'm well able to deal with struggle. And now I'm excited for what's ahead of me. I'm actually getting goosebumps even here talking about it. I know what I'm capable of. I just had two bad nights back to back. First one didn't go my way, and then I maybe rushed into the second one, taking the. I probably could have done with a little bit more time in between, but look, it is what it is. I made a mistake. I took the fight. Went into the fight with a fractured foot. Look, it is what it is. I mean, last one, few things. I went the whole camp with basically a fractured foot. Was wrapping it up every day. Couldn't do as much road work. Couldn't really do as much heavy training. The weight cut was a bit of an issue for me. Made weight in the end anyway, but I was on the night. Then I just didn't perform how I should have performed. There's no excuses other than I just was shit on the night, and it happens. And I lost. But my character after it, knowing that I can deal with loss and handle loss professionally, back to back, still keep on training after, still keep the work going, still keep a positive mindset, still grateful for the life I live. You know, this is the epitome of a strong mind, strong willed person. And I know I have it in me. So I'm excited to get the redemption now and get that win back. And a little teaser of one of the lads who lost on the night, the same night as me, is one of the lads I'm fighting. And he also lost by submission. So you can put the two and two together. But yeah, so that's me. That's me news for me next one. Atlantic City, New Jersey. Like I said, they offered me the opponent. I said yes. This lad is definitely game, and he's gonna want redemption after losing his last fight. And I can't see why he wouldn't take it. And like I said, I've never been offered someone and it not go ahead. So as far as I'm concerned, it's going to be going ahead. I'm dieting, I'm training, I'm preparing. So let's get it. And yeah, that's all in terms of fighting. I'm gonna go completely off track here, right? I've wanted to do this now for a while. Uh, for a while, I don't know. I wanted to talk about this one thing for a while because it's just something that always fascinates me because I have this experience so much. So I want to talk about, and this is just mental because I'm not even talking about fighting, all this jazz, sound real martial artsy and real professional. And this is the way this podcast is gonna go. It can go one way or the other. I don't know, but yeah. So I want to talk about a thing called vicarious testicular pain, or in want of a better words, testicular empathy. So that's what I'm going to call it when you hear me refer to it. It's also known as sympathetic testicular response, phantom ball pain, or vicarious testicular sensation. So, to make a long story short, and to put a brief description on it, this refers to the pain that you feel, or well, people feel, and people can feel this anywhere, but it's referred to the pain you can feel in your balls if you're a man when you hear or envision or see someone describe like an injury or a pain or whatever. So, for example, I always get it when, you know, if someone talks about like a fingernail coming off or like something poking into their eye, or like one thing down someone describes an injury like, oh, I cut my finger off, or you know, things like that. Whenever someone's telling me a story, I have a very visual imagination, and sometimes it plays against me. So when I envision that, I just get this tense and tightening pain, and like dull fucking ball pain in me testes. And I always wanted to. I was like, what the crack? What is the crack with this? So I kind of done a little bit of research on it because I wanted to like suss out what the crack with it was. So yeah, vicarious pain or sympathetic pain. So basically, what it is when we hear information, right, or take in this information because of the way we're programmed. You know, we wanting wants to ourselves we have a reaction. It's a mix of empathy, mirror neuron activity, and somatic response, and it's very strong in areas of the body associated with vulnerability. So, for example, the groin is highly innervated and psychologically linked to protection. So, imagining pain can trigger a real discomfort there, because it's kind of like each to their own. Um, like I feel like each to their own type of thing. So, for example, right, I was gonna break it down for you. I obviously am a man, and I want to keep me crown jewels. I take pride in me crown jewels, and whenever I hear pain like that, something that they're real relative to me, and they're real. What would you say? They're very so, like I said earlier on, the groin is highly innervated, and it's psychologically linked to protection. So our balls are psychologically linked to protection. Why? Because they mean so much to us. We can't produce testosterone as much without them. We can't have offspring without them. They're so sensitive that they just hurt so much if someone hurts them. So there's a certain kind of sensory thing when we hear something like that, that uh, our neurons relate to pain and discomfort, and they want to protect them areas. So you kind of necessarily, like, for want of a better words, feel it there, because we don't want to feel any pain there again, or feel any pain. So whenever we hear something traumatic or like sickening or like someone sticking toothpicks underneath your nails, or stick a toothpick underneath your toenail and kicking a wall, or someone chopping a finger off, or something going into someone's eye, or someone's like tooth going through their lip. All of these mad pains, or like even someone falling from a height. Do you ever see when you see someone falling from a height in a video or something like that and dying, or like whatever it is, you get that either in your gut or you get it in your balls. I don't know where women feel it, but I can just relate to lads, and I feel it in my balls more or less. But I'm waffling on a bit here because I'm getting a bit carried away with it. But I'll basically break it down. So it's mirror neurons. So it's feeling what others feel. So mirror neurons are brain cells that activate both when you experience something or when you see or imagine experiencing it, and they play a key role in empathy and imitation. So when you hear a story about someone getting hit in the groin or getting whatever it is, any injury, whatever it is, your mirror neurons simulate that experience, and it can trigger a brain body reaction as if it's your own body under threat. Um, Now, this isn't just for like being hit in the balls. Like I said, it can be anything. It can be any pain. Whenever someone discusses something kind of traumatic or whatever it is, like I said, I get that sensory feeling, and I feel it there in me bollocks. Um, The somatosensory cortex is a part of the brain that processes bodily sensations. It contains a map of your entire body called the homunculus. When the brain stimulates groin pain, the testicular region of the map lights up, and even though nothing is physically happening, this can result in an actual discomfort or tingling sensation in the testicles, and that's what I get. But like I said, not just with groin stuff. Um, like I feel it. I feel it there when even someone's talking about something else, even related to any part of the body. So like I said before, hearing injuries, hearing about injuries can trigger defense and protective response, often with a physical contraction in the abdomen or the thighs or the groin or the chest, and the autonomic nervous system, which governs reflexes, can amplify that tension into a real ache. So there you go. Basically, pain empathy is a real thing. So studies using the MRI show that hearing about pain, especially vivid or familiar pain, activates many of these same brain areas as experiencing it directly. And this includes the anterior cingulate cortex, which is an emotional component of pain, the insula, which is bodily awareness, and the somatosensory areas, as I mentioned before. Um, but like I said, like um this is basically pain mapping of the body. So the body just pain maps what it feels, and to protect itself, it makes you makes it feel a certain thing to kind of keep you in check and to basically um, keep you aware that we don't want stuff to happen. Um, and it's a form of empathy for someone. So it's funny, your brain shows empathy with basically personalized pain mapping. But I just thought it was mad that all of this is triggered just by like the neurons firing off in the brain. So like the the neuroscience behind this is funny because of how important the brain is. So I think of something and then I feel pain somewhere. Like it just goes to show how powerful our brains are and how just important they are for our protection, as well as they are for maybe letting us take risks and stuff like that as well. So there's so many things um that make the brain so fascinating. Um, I just because I typed in then as well. I was doing a bit of research and I just typed in then as well as like why do I always feel it there in my balls basically? And like I waffled on a little bit earlier, but they said for me it seems to be default to me testicles, likely because that area feels most personally sensitive or symbolic of pain. So obviously, lads, this the whole debate of is giving birth or being kicked in the bollocks worse? Kicked in the bollocks is being worse. Um. So yeah, that's just fact. I don't want to hear anyone talk about it. We don't get painkillers when we get kicked in the balls. We have to just deal with it. Um, but yeah, that's more or less this. It's like a defense. Like I said, it's a heightened defense mechanism. It's a autonomic nervous system may trigger a protective reflex in the testicles, almost like a flinch, and that's the best way to explain. Now, when someone goes to give you a dig, you react. When someone's telling you about this type of cringy stuff, yeah, tense, cringe, or imagine a sharp pain in that area. So it's an emotional generalization of pain. And the brain doesn't always localize emotion, pain precisely. It may convert disturbing or intense feelings into physical sensations, and I may choose the area that most viscerally gets your attention, which for me is my bollocks. I get it sometimes. You get sickening feelings in your belly as well, which is very. You know, when someone gives you bad news, or if you're anything like that, you can kind of you feel like something bad's coming. You can kind of get that feeling in your belly, and I get that a lot as well. But most things to do with pain is is in my gonads, and then like there's ways you can deal with it. Like it's all kind of like cognitive behavioral therapy and like so like real kind of hippie stuff. Graffiti, ground yourself on the floor, clench your fists and release. Like so, I do that anyway. When someone tells me something, I clench my fists and I'm like, oh stop, or else I always go like that with me mouth and me tongue, and I just get a real like I don't like it. Um, yeah. So touch a textured object like fuck off. Um, I just stamp my feet sometimes like a little baby. I'm gonna tell people to shut up when they're telling me something. Deep breathing, especially lower belly. Yeah, I'm still gonna feel pain in my bollocks regardless. Visual reframing, I'm still gonna feel pain in my bollocks. Strengthen mind body boundaries. Yeah, I like meditation, but when I see or visualize some of that, I'm still gonna feel pain in my bollocks regardless. So a lot of bollocks talk here. I'm talking bollocks. Shout out to the lads. Um, but more or less that is it today. Actually, I'll just finish on some. I don't have them in front of me, but I got some listener questions. Recently, a lot of them are just a lot of shy. Mainly, my family sending in just some stupid questions. But off the top of my head, one was like, "How are you going to prepare for your next opponent?" Um, Obviously, if it's gone ahead and it's the guy I'm thinking, he has a really good guillotine, so I'll be doing a lot of guillotine defense, and more importantly, just focusing on my own game and going like my whole mindset changed for this. Like when I'm going at this cunt, I'm going at this fella full tilt, and I'm gonna just focus so much on doing what I do best and go through him. Obviously, be cautious of what he does, but I'm getting stuck into this cunt. Honestly, I can't wait to do it. Can't wait to have a good old knock, good old fist fight, and get stuck in. Another one was how do you deal with your challenges and setbacks in life, and deal with it in relation to your sport and your personal life. So I think for that one, I think what it is actually just me facing a lot of hardship and ups and downs in my personal life as well as in sport from a young age. So the familiarization of pain physically, mentally, emotionally, ups and downs, is very normal to me. So I think I take it all in my stride, and I just think that I've just formed a healthy mindset. I've become one with struggle, and I know it's a part of life, and I know there's no running away from it. So if you can embrace struggle and hardship and ups and downs, and what's the if you can what's that saying? If you can, fuck, I'm gonna have to type it in now. If you can meet triumph and disaster and treat both imposters the same, that's a nice one. So yeah, I think that's a big one for me. I bet I'm able to treat triumph and disaster and treat them both the same. I don't get carried away with wins. I don't get too upset with losses. Just like in life, I don't get carried away when something good happens. I almost kind of deflect everything when something good happens and downplay it. And when something bad happens, I just do the same. So I think I have a good balance of that. So that's a big part to play in that. Um, what other questions did I get? Will Bowers win the league was another one. And if they keep pulling out last minute winners like they're doing, they fucking just might. So here's hoping that the lads do it. The Black Bowers jersey's out now tonight on at 5 o'clock. It's Tuesday the 13th of May. It's out tonight at 5 o'clock. I have to get it. It sold out when I tried to get it the last time, so I'm gonna be trying to get that Black Guinness one. And what else? I think that's more or less it. I'm gonna leave it there. As I said, keep your eyes peeled. I'm gonna be doing a lot more content stuff as well. I get out, do more recording, do more online stuff on my Instagram and stuff like that, and my TikToks. So make sure to keep your eyes out there just on my personal page. But that was it today, episode 4, PFL recap, talking about my fight, talking about testicular empathy, and just finishing off with a little bit of Q&A. I'm sipping on my little Starbucks there, like a little pussy, not drinking fucking warm coffee. But I'm in Dubai, so I have an excuse. But heading home in 2 weeks' time. Camp has already started. Nutrition has already started. So hopefully news will be out very soon. So keep your eyes peeled and keep your eyes peeled for the next episode, which I'm hoping to have out maybe next week or the week after. And I'm hoping to have 2 guests on um, within the next few weeks while I'm here in Dubai, and then I'll get cracked into getting some more guests on when I'm back at home. So keep your eyes peeled. Episode 4, Gift of the Jab, over now.